North Korea remains one of the most secretive and repressive regimes in the world. While much of the international focus remains on its nuclear ambitions, hidden within its borders lies a brutal system of state-imposed slavery. At the heart of this system is Kaechon Political Prison Camp, also known as Camp 14. Established in the 1960s, Camp 14 is one of North Korea's notorious political prison camps, designed to incarcerate and exploit thousands of so-called enemies of the state. Prisoners, including entire families, endure forced labor under inhumane conditions, often for life. These camps operate under a system of total control. Inmates are subjected to grueling labor in industries like textiles, mining, and agriculture. They receive no wages, inadequate food, and endure severe punishments for even the slightest perceived disobedience. Malnutrition is rampant. Prisoners often resort to catching rats and snakes to survive. The lack of adequate nutrition combined with extreme working conditions makes survival nearly impossible. The hypocrisy of the North Korean regime is staggering. The country's constitution claims to protect human rights, yet countless testimonies from former inmates paint a different reality. Articles such as Article 29 claim that labor is independent and creative, and free from exploitation, while Article 30 guarantees that working hours will be reduced for arduous trades. Article 39 emphasizes the importance of socialist culture, yet the reality in the camps is one of forced labor, violence, and oppression. Kim Yong, a former prisoner, described being hung by his wrists and subjected to water torture. And Hyuk recalled being sleep-deprived and forced to sit motionless for days. Lee Young-kook suffered shin beatings with rifle butts causing permanent injuries. Before the 1990s, forced labor was confined to political prisons. However, following a devastating famine, the practice expanded. Citizens unable to register for official work were forcibly sent to labor camps where they were forced into months of grueling labor. International organizations, including the United Nations, have repeatedly condemned North Korea for its widespread and systematic human rights abuses. Reports detail forced abortions, public executions, and extreme forms of torture. Yet the regime continues to deny these allegations. In 2009, North Korea claimed that political prisoners do not exist within its borders. However, satellite images, defectors' testimonies, and investigative reports prove otherwise. Perhaps the most harrowing account comes from Shin Dong-hyuk, the only known escapee from Camp 14. Born into captivity, Shin witnessed public executions, brutal punishments, and suffered unimaginable abuse. His escape exposed the world to the horrific reality of North Korea's forced labor camps. Despite global condemnation, North Korea continues to exploit its own people. Activists and human rights organizations tirelessly work to expose these atrocities, yet without international intervention, thousands remain trapped in these camps, suffering in silence. The world must not turn a blind eye to the suffering of North Korea's imprisoned citizens. Articles such as Article 64 claim that citizens' rights and freedoms are guaranteed, and Article 67 promises freedom of speech, assembly, and association. Yet, in practice, these rights are non-existent. Until justice is served, the voices of those lost to the regime must never be forgotten.